7 o'clock, and 80 feet underground, the Post Office Railway is working flat out. It shifts mail between 6 London sorting offices and the mainline stations at Paddington and Liverpool Street. 1/3 of the nation's mail crosses London. A third of that, 40,000 bags a day, travels through these 7 miles of tunnels.
Well, I love the idea of the trains, yes. I rather like the feel of it, you know, down, you know, the trains and everything. I think it's interesting, you know. It's like having your own big toy train set, isn't it?
Hello, everyone. You've got 18 in 14's time.
We're a small section, really, haven't we? You know, about 100 odd men, and got a big family and all thing, you know.
Oh, I think there's a lot of camaraderie down here, you know, everyone seems to stick together. Obviously, we think we're better than ones upstairs, you know what I mean? So.
We're always waiting for above ground, or we're waiting for them at the top of the left head, or whatever. So very few occasions they're waiting for us. You know, we're pretty fast service. We're only really used to this side of the operation, railway. If you asked me to sort a letter, I wouldn't have a clue.
It takes only 15 minutes to get mail right across London. In the streets above, traffic crawls at a pace no faster than the horse-drawn carriages which were about when the first tunnel was driven in 1914. Some of the locos have been running since 1933. Many have clocked up 1.25 million miles. (8:15) Newcastle Station. The North East Travelling Post Office, or TPO, takes on the last of its mail. It's one of 40 TPOs that cross the country every night. Tonight, this is the Up, heading towards London. The bright red livery marks it out as the flagship of the TPO fleet.
North East TPO 3.
The crew work an 8-hour shift without a meal break 5 nights a week. And in the course of that week, they see their families twice for just a few hours. It takes a special type of man.
I've tried to figure it out, and we've got young fellas, we've got old guys, we've got married people, we've got single blokes. And I cannot put my finger on what a TPO type of fella is, but it must be a TPO type, because we're all volunteers and we'll stick it for years and years and years.
Your shoes one.
I think the TPO type is, you've got to be a bit of a cowboy and be prepared to live out of a bag and away from home.
I think it's the children really it affects more than anything else. If you've got young children, they'll miss you. Mine wants another daddy so she can send him to work and keep me at home.
E13 away time.
Yes.
Oh, I feel it.
8:22. First stop Durham, then Darlington, York, Pontefract, Sheffield, Derby, Bedford, Luton and St Pancras.
Coming down from St Pancras, we specialise on Yorkshire, County Durham and Northumberland. And going back up again the other way towards St Pancras, we specialise on counties that's south of Derby. We've then got certain post office services built into our arrival time. I mean, we've got to rely on vans arriving from different places to our route to take the work back again. But the network's built around us. And the other TPOs, of course.
Fathers and grandfathers of these men were crewing TPOs in the year that Grierson's classic documentary Night Mail was made. If they were lucky enough to be in work, that is. If not, they might have been marching from Jarrow. Some things don't change.
We're in a steady, regular job with a steady, regular wage. Means a lot to me when I've got 2 brothers on the door. Means a lot to me.
Oh, I've got 2 brother-in-laws on the door and a brother. I mean, I live in an old mining village, and there's just a lot of people just can't get work, you know, they're all old miners, and this is nothing new to them.
When I first joined the post office, without a word of a lie, if you walk past the entrance to the post office, there was a bloke sitting on the door and he used to come up and say, "Do you want a job, son?" And it was that easy. No, you can't get a job.
150 miles away at Derby, the locomotive that will haul the North East Up TPO on the final leg of its journey is the centre of attention. 50 years after the Grierson film celebrating its night mail operation, the Post Office have got together with British Rail to mark the event.
Do the honours here and name the train Night Mail.
The catching and dispatching equipment, the apparatus as it was known, has long since disappeared. The men who had to work it were glad to see the back of it.
When them poachers come in, they did come in. I mean, if they hit you, they would have killed you. Yeah, simple as that. It was dirty, it was oily, it was greasy, and it was very heavy work.
Especially when in the winter, when you had to open those doors. And you have every door open on that train, and it's burnt along at, say, 70, 80 mile an hour. And the snow's coming in, the smoke off the engine's coming in, and it used to be terrible.
We used to tie mailbags round the legs, used to put mailbags on the floor to stand on, just to stop the cold from actually coming up.
From 9:30, Derby Station virtually stops passenger operations to cope with the night mail. Between now and midnight, 9 different postal trains will arrive. They will exchange locomotives, mail, vans, staff and gossip. The fate of 1 million letters depends on Derby's shunting system.
1M58, which is the 2005 from Peterborough to Crewe, arrives in platform 2. The locomotive is uncoupled. 1M36 is booked to arrive into platform 1 at 23:37. And this train normally attach 10 vehicles which has previously arrived off 1M77 from Lincoln. They are attached to what is now the rear of the Peterborough train. We have the arrival into platform 3 of 1P30, the 2035 from St Pancras to Derby. This train conveys 3 vehicles. The first vehicle and the locomotive are for Leeds, and the rear 2 vehicles are for Derby.
.30, East Midlands Airport just outside Derby. Every few minutes, aircraft full of mail touch down, between 15 and 20 on a normal night. They're stripped of their cargo, reloaded and sent on their way. The North East Up is 5 minutes away. From Derby, it'll be another 2.5 hours non-stop sorting into St Pancras. Then a meal, sleep and a few hours to kill with the rest of the lads.
You get not little individual teams, but you get cliques within the whole team.
I mean, we go playing squash, they go drinking beer.
There's people knock around at weekends together that work together all the week.
I mean, some lads go to the pitches. It all depends what your interest is, you know. It's, but we're going squashing tomorrow.
It's approaching midnight. For a moment, for the post office, Derby is the hub of the universe.
At 0010, we have the up postal arriving to platform 6 from Newcastle. This is 1M59, the 2022 Newcastle to St Pancras. This train is a very heavy mail carrier with very tight connections from East Midlands Airport.
the valley tour.
Yeah. Paul, you've had all the mail.
On platform 4 at 0020 we have 1E04, which is the down postal from St Pancras to Leeds.
After midnight, down the long platforms spoking outwards from the hub of England, away from where we lie coupling and uncoupling, the unseen industry goes on, the night mail. Work as it sounds, still done by men, most of it. The porters with their mule packs, the sorters at their boxes like bees in a hive or doves in a dovecot. The trolleys skedaddling so that no connection shall ever be missed. Then the dark flickers with the flare of machines, planes moving blindly down the empty air lanes, vans along B roads lit by rabbit's eyes and cat's eyes, trains through cuttings of fennel and elderflower.